All right. Time to start up our bronze year.
Her bronze year?
Yeah.
The 20th?
Yeah, well, the first podcast we talked about golden years. We tried to give away a TV, and that didn't work. So then we tried again, and here we are. Third time's the charm.
Again.
We're gonna do it tonight, but I suppose we probably have more to talk about than that.
Yeah.
That was just the first thing I started to think of. I was like, man, what did we do in the last TreeTop? All right, we failed again
Let me grab the hat.
to give away the TV. It looks different. Is it facing the other side today?
Yes, it is.
It's got a new skin there. It almost looks like we went out and bought a new TV. We're giving a new TV away every week.
The
Just
TV
kidding.
we still haven't even opened.
Yeah. Anyways, it's gonna be great once someone does win it, because then we can open it and take out the TV and replace it with like Brody, and then they can just open it and be
the
like,
box.
"Here you go.
I was
You
thinking
won what you
more
won. We
we
only
get
showed you the box."
that space of our wall back.
Yeah, but like, what are we even gonna do with that space? I kind of am
That's my
liking
yoga
the
wall.
TV there. Yeah, but yesterday when you were doing yoga, you used that TV as a little stand for your candles.
But I could also find a cool table or make one.
Fair enough. Cardboard boxes are good
I don't
enough
like
for me.
staring at a TV screen.
That's just the bachelor difference, I think. Cardboard boxes are good enough for me.
That's
And
fair.
probably most men
Maybe
left
it should
alone.
be good enough for me too, but
Nah.
it also says 60-inch TV.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not just a cardboard box. But
if it
anyways,
was plain, I'd like it better.
we promise it's not just a cardboard box. We promise that we are going to be...
It's way heavier than just a cardboard box.
Yeah, it's way heavier. We actually weighed it yesterday on stream,
how
too.
much does it weigh?
I forget exactly. I want to say somewhere around 54 pounds.
What was 35? The bike?
Maybe.
Okay.
We did a lot of weird things yesterday on stream. We won't go into it too much. What can we go into, though? I guess...
How was your day?
My day was good.
What'd you
My
do?
day was a little surprising in the way that it panned out, I suppose, because I had initially gotten up with the sole plan, other than doing TreeTop today, the sole plan to go to the grocery store and get some food, and because we're running low on groceries, and it's within walking distance, so I've done that before. Although the last time I went, as I was walking, there was like a huge storm cloud just like up ahead, and I was just like,
I was wondering.
I'm just gonna walk into this and nothing's gonna be wrong. So the weather was a little spotty today.
I was just about to say, I was wondering if you got held back by the weather because we were outside playing.
Yeah.
And it got dark.
Subconsciously,
and windy.
perhaps.
Okay.
But like, it wasn't like there was never. It was kind of just like I got lost. I got lost in a book. Yeah.
What book?
So do you have a guess at which book it could be?
I have two.
Yeah.
The one by Isaac
Asimov. Yeah.
Asimov?
So we went to the bookstore that's pretty close to us, right down the street.
It's not the one.
Not too long ago. Oh, she looked at the bookmark and saw. But I got Pebble in the Sky by Isaac Asimov, which is an author that I've been wanting to read for a while. But yes, I read that.
Dang, how was it?
It was
Wait,
very...
Did you read the whole thing?
I read the whole thing. And it was very man, it was surprising because it was, I think it was originally written in somewhere in like the maybe in the 1800s. Don't quote me on that. You can look it up. You can Google it right now if you really want to know. But it's Candid, I believe, is the name. That's the name of the main character of the story, and it's by Voltaire, who is an old philosopher. I don't know exactly what you would call him because I'm not super brushed up. But he was more than just a philosopher, because he was also clearly an author and probably some other things that I'm failing to mention. But anytime I've run across little quips and quotes that he said, like one of the ones that I remember to this day, because it was one of the first things that I heard from him specifically, and it resonated with me on such a deep level, was that you cannot free the fool from the chains which they revere. And so it was basically trying to say that, like, if you can see someone that's in trouble and you try to like save them from that trouble, if they think that their trouble is actually something that they revere, vis-a-vis they adorn, like they hold with respect, and they actually appreciate and want, then you cannot free them, because they are
They're
in
not
full
willing.
for having those chains and sort of like and wanting them instead of wanting the freedom of whatever. And so when the first time I heard that, I was like, dang, this guy's like, this is an interesting mind. Brody's all excited because we were playing with him before the podcast to try and wear him out. I guess that's always an idea that we try, and is never an idea that actually fully comes to fruition ever, because he's always got a little extra in the tank, especially for playtime. It's like the equivalent of someone eating a ginormous dinner and then always having extra room for dessert. It's like, for Brody, play is dessert 100%, and he can never get enough of it.
He's just like a little kid, which I feel like you can say that for most kids.
Mm-hmm.
But can we just do this, like 4 more times?
Just 4 more times.
And then if you agree to 4, they're like, okay, 6?
Okay, 6 more times now. And you're like, oh my goodness. Yeah, we do tend to get pushed around a little bit by bro. But he didn't convince me to take too many walks with him today. Sometimes you take a walk with him in the morning, and then I take a walk with him when I wake up, and then I take a walk with him before you get home, and then we take a walk with him together after, and it's just like, dang, Brody.
He gets a lot of walks.
And you're still putting on a little chub.
Well, he also gets a lot of treats.
He gets a lot of treats, and we cook a lot of meals here, so
yeah,
it's easy to just kind of feed
we
him
always
scraps.
Justify it though.
And the thing about him getting a lot of treats is he's not a picky dog either.
No.
He eats anything. Like, I will
Even
be
sometimes
chopping up potatoes, and I'll have one that's like, ooh, that's got like a weird brown spot in it, and he'll just be sitting there, and I'll just toss it over to him, and he'll just go, and he'll eat it. But he'll also love the cooked potato too. Yeah. But it's just like, whatever, man. I eat grass on the trail all the time.
For sure.
I don't really care.
Sometimes I'll even be like, no, and then it's gone too, like if it falls.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that one time
treats.
with eggs. I was cooking up eggs on the skillet over there, and I went to sort of like do this, and a little piece of egg like fell, and he was laying right below me, and I was straddling him with my legs. If you can imagine that, we have this one long rug in our kitchen, and then he was just laying on the rug, and he ends up getting there and eventually knows that if he goes there enough, I just won't say anything to him anymore, and I'll just be like, all right, I'll just move around.
Or you forget as you're cooking.
It's not even that. I ultimately come to the fact, like, he convinces me that I'm like, well, if I can be here, like, he has just as much right to be here as I do. And so I'm like, and he's not in the way because he's in the middle, so I can open all the cabinets and not.
He's kind of a tripping hazard.
He is a tripping hazard, but I mean, I'm a tripping hazard to him too. So it's just like, you can use it the same way for both. So I end up just letting him be there. And since he was right there, this little piece of rogue egg came off of the pan, super hot, hit his back, and then he like kind of looked and saw it, and it fell down, and then he went to go grab it, and before I could say, Brody, that's extremely hot, don't do it, he just kind of went, and then he would like, look at him under here, he's got his little face, and then he went and like, you could tell he kind of dropped it, like, he's like, oh yeah, I found that one out the hard way. But then immediately after he dropped it, he like went back after it, almost like a dinosaur that was eating like a live
like
piece
a
of prey.
When they like tear things apart.
Yeah, they're just like relentless.
Yeah, I love watching him when like a rogue piece of food falls on the ground, especially if he's not expecting it, because his ears just always perk up, and it's like, oh my god, food just like fell from the sky.
yeah. I wish I could show you guys what he looks like right now. We're gonna try.
Close up of your bow.
Close up of my mouth. Don't look, guys. This is not a good time to look at the screen. There he is.
He's staring at my hand.
There's my toe. What do you think, Brody? It's not as good of an angle, but it's about as good as you're gonna get. I need a wireless webcam. Then we can really take you everywhere. Yeah, Pupper's getting a lot of love, so that's what I did today.
Nice.
Yeah, after I read that story, well, while I was reading it, I was also taking notes at certain parts of the story, because like I said, it was very heavily worded in the sense that it was written a long time ago, so it uses just a different sort of vernacular. And so and then it also is talking about he has a very fast pace in that story where it's just like 100 different things happen before
Really?
the end of chapter 1, and you're just like, holy cow, over like spans of time where you're just like, you can tell that he's not trying to milk out a story like, oh, I have this one concept, I really want to milk it. He's like, I just know stories, and so I'm just going to tell a story that encapsulates all, like, so many different stories. And I think that that's just a level of comprehension that that I can only one day dream to sort of to be able to have. But it's cool to see. And so I was picking up certain things and kind of writing them down. And then also I have this bit of a story in my own head that and on paper now that I've sort of been writing down about, like, very rough, like maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs in whole of just like, I want to kind of incorporate this in there, and not just the paragraphs. I know, like, the storylines and stuff that I want to have in it, but it's like, as far as pen to paper, maybe 3 paragraphs.
Just what you need to, like, retain some stuff.
Yeah, and there was one point in the middle of that book when I put it down and I wrote like 5 or 6 paragraphs, and I was just like, yeah, and I was just like, I wasn't afraid to leave a sentence at like dash, like dash it off and be like, I can't think of how to finish this, so I'll just keep going, because if I don't keep it's like that little squirrel. If I don't keep following that little squirrel, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way to write, and especially when you feel like you're just pouring out ideas or some things. Brody's like sabotaging right now. No, when you just need to, like, get it all out, just whatever needs to come out. I was actually doing some of my self-journaling yesterday morning. In mid-journal, I was like, oh man, and like I had all this stuff I wanted to start writing down for like Patreon and these raw cut songs we're doing on there and stuff, and even like music video ideas. And I was still in the middle of this like self-journaling thing. I was like, do I finish this right now, or do I
don't
go
think so.
over here?
Yeah.
So I actually did finish it, but it was like I rushed through it and then just started. So I think that's partially because I need another notebook.
Yeah,
I'm balancing some notebooks.
We're running out of paper, which is another reason that I'm very glad that I've kind of like not fully moved over to writing on like a sketch, like on a notepad on the computer, because I think paper always will still have its place, but it's allowed me to, like, those 5 or 6 paragraphs that I just like cranked out while I was in the middle of that story. Was it on your laptop? It was on here, and I wouldn't have been able. I would probably have gotten like maybe 3, and maybe like half of those paragraphs would have been like discombobulated, because it's like you can't write as fast as you can type, at least not for us in this day and age, like with as much typing as we've learned. For sure. I remember taking typing class and being like, this is the dumbest thing ever. This is lame. Why am I trying to learn this?
But in elementary school, when we took our typing classes, it would be games, which we love. At least I loved. Do you remember the games where you'd have to hit certain letters?
I remember like math blasters and stuff.
Oh man, we used to play these ones, and it would teach you just how to get familiar with the keys.
In elementary school?
With the keys on the keyboard.
We were too busy playing Oregon Trail. We were hick kids.
Everyone played that game, and I never played it. We like had 3 choices, and I never chose Oregon Trail.
Well, anyways, you were saying that you were writing, and then you had this thought of writing all these random things, but you were writing yourself journaling. How's that been going? Good? Yeah.
I'm like either at 30 days or just about, but they're like, the way it's set up is she kind of walks you through maybe just picking one thing that you want to change about yourself, and it can be so broad, and then just kind of writing intention of like, okay,
and so small too, right? Like just like anything you can reach for.
Even if it was literally like, I want to do 10 squats every evening. How about that? That's just like a random thing.
Well, you can be bold about your claim. You don't have to whisper it. I want to do 10 squats every evening.
No,
I want to do 10 squats every evening.
No, yes, but I'm just trying to think of a good example, and I can't think of anything. Yeah. It's been a long day.
You were more ashamed of your improv than the idea of it.
Yes, that's why I kind of was like, ugh. But anyways.
That was a good one, by the way. You shouldn't feel ashamed about that.
10 squats at night. I'm going to do this every night. And it's kind of just like you have a conversation with yourself about how that should happen, which a lot of people don't even do. And it's such a like common step in the process. How that should happen, like what you can do that day to like contribute to that happening. And the other thing that I really like, which at first I was like, oh, this is stupid, is not stupid, but I
Irrelevant.
I was dismissive about it. List 3 characteristics your future self would have, like that you would want your future self to have, and every day mine are different. Like I have some that I've repeated throughout, but every day it's a different 3. And it's kind of just like, okay, what do I need to focus on today? Like, do I need to be more patient? Do I need to be more like self-confident or
but not just
disciplined?
today. It anchors you into the future so that you have something to commit to. So you can be like, I'm not just doing it for me, myself now, but I'm doing it for who I want, how I want to take care of myself, that kind of person.
For sure.
And I would say that all of that, what you're doing is very similar to a prayer or a meditation where it's just like, just sort of like you said, just sitting there with your thoughts and sort of resonating on them and asking yourself how you can continue to be a better person.
Yeah.
And also being real about what you're feeling. Like, I think, and maybe I'm just convoluted and ignorant about what I believe to be prayer and meditation, but I personally really do believe that that's like what both of them can benefit you with. So it'll be interesting to see how it adapts into the future, like this, or how my knowledge adapts to find out how different they are, because to me they really don't seem that different from one another. So
yeah, I think one thing she's stressing here is that by writing instead of maybe just like being in your head, which can kind of happen in meditation and prayer, you can kind of visually see some things, work some things out. Not that you can't do that in prayer and meditation.
No, that's
like
for sure.
I do
That's
meditation and get so many positive benefits. It's just like sometimes
helps to concretize them a bit, to have them like set out, especially if you're thinking about future plans. It's like maybe you can't do that as well with just sort of like talking to yourself or thinking about it. I don't know. It's
like
cool.
the same 4 or 5 questions you ask yourself every day, so it only takes 3-4 minutes, whatever.
And we saw that and she's trying to come out with one for like younger kids
as well. She just came out with one for kids, which is cool. I read through it. I'm trying to think of the people in my life that are at a good age for that, because writing is helpful. Being able to read is helpful.
Yeah. But just instilling a sense of confidence, and then also having that sense of responsibility. Like, okay, I have to be confident that I can achieve this future self. What responsibilities do I have to take on in order to achieve that future self? And it's like, you can use that from probably the time that you can talk, to be slowly sort of ingrained that kind of
that you can like
truth.
Work on. Yeah, and you can work on yourself and work towards something rather than just like, this is me and I just have to deal with this and like make this work the rest of my life. Yeah. One thing I was gonna add that I was kind of starting with is she kind of suggests you do it for 30 days. Like, you don't have to stop, but at the end of 30 days, you could either do another one, continue with like that same habit or whatever that you want to change. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but yeah. I feel like normally I falter off on these things. So I'm just like, sweet, made it to 30 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've enjoyed it and seen a lot of like positive benefits. So
that's cool. Well, that in itself is a little minor sort of improvement, a little reach. And that's really all we're built on, is just little minor improvements and failures, and hopefully we can turn a lot of those failures into little minor improvements. But I'm semi not prepared today because I don't have our request sheet brought up, so I was gonna bring that up really quick.
Oh, good call, because I still forget that we have such a thing.
Yeah, I think
that's still from last time.
I think I need to delete these because I think it's set up to where you can only respond once or something like that. I don't know. It might not be. But anyways, we have now opened officially the request area. So if you haven't seen below, underneath the ukulele, there is a little link that you can click that will take you to a request form that you can fill out, where you can put your name if you'd like and who you are in the stream if you'd like us to know who you are. But at least to leave a song request. Also, last week we put in an option to add a song if you don't see a song, any song that you like, or you would like us to learn a new song that you really like. Some of our most popular songs on our song request list have come specifically from that. So even if you just want to recommend a song for future podcasts or future TreeTop Radio. I hesitate to call this a podcast because of how quickly we can. How's it going, Dreamy? Yeah, Dreamy being an example of someone who requested a song "Sex on Fire" by Kings of Leon, which is
Yes.
one that we've played many times on stream. Not one we have down specifically, but you know, I've come to find when we did our whole endeavor into the raw cuts
Mm-hmm.
and that whole idea that you had, which you were talking about, you mentioned briefly a little bit while you were doing that sort of self-authoring program, how you kind of had these thoughts of like, oh, these are all the things we could
Yeah.
do and like all that, and you did, and eventually write at least some of those down because we
Mm-hmm.
worked on what we're calling the raw cuts, which will be starting from all the songs that are our own and that we've sort of written and recorded ourselves. We're going to try to record them or re-record them as a raw cut, so not trying to completely embellish them like we're trying to do with this song differently, that I've still yet to put my guitar track on, so that is on me right there. But a way that we can effectively, quickly, and also get them out in a way that still has some quality behind it. We're trying to produce these songs. It's not a first take idea, but it's a one take idea. So we're trying to get them in one take. And we went through the first two songs that you had sort of ever written yesterday. And so you performed one of them solo on your ukulele, which was one before we started writing together,
Mm-hmm.
which was cool because I hadn't heard that like ever really.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And then we also did.
And that's up on Patreon.
That's up on Patreon now. And then we also did Shaky Bones, which was the first song that we kind of really played together. And we've got like probably like 8 or 9 songs all together.
No,
that
we have more than that.
Do we have more than that?
Yeah.
I was.
It's kind of crazy how many songs we have when you get like a list going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a lot more songs then. Jay
And
Mitchell's. How's it
Mitchell's.
going?
I almost said Michael's.
It could be Michael. I think it's Mitchell's. How's it going, buddy? I don't know what sound just played or anything, but welcome
You
to
got
the
Charmander.
welcome to the strum. You got Charmander out of it. But shoot, dang, I completely forgot what we were talking about.
Want to play a song?
Sure, let's play a song. That always works when you forget your place. All right, we have two songs coming in. First one by 9267, "Make You Feel My Love" by Adele. So we can play that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Michael's. See? She's right. Follow your instincts, Puf. Also, guys, when we were doing these rough cuts, I think that's kind of what we were talking about yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
We had the microphone positioned to where Puf was standing when she was singing, and I was also standing when I was playing. And you had mentioned that was a lot easier for your sort of
diaphragm
to sing if you were standing. And I kind of have set this up to where we could potentially stand if you would like to do this song. Do you want to swift it?
Yeah, we can try it.
Okay. Did you not find the song in yours?
When you tried to send them to me, AirDrop wasn't working. So.
Oh right, that's right. We tried to consolidate our lists.
Keep trying to make like a master song list, and you know, sometimes Apple products aren't all that.
Yeah, I think it's just technology, and we tend to think that Apple is sort of invincible when it comes to those things.
I do think that. It's my own.
Yeah. It's Puf. It's not Apple. Let's not blame technology. It's actually like we could have made this happen. So even without AirDrop, we just get too dependent on those
lazy
new technologies. So would you like to try this standing up or?
Sure.
Okay. Let's do it.
We're moving up, everybody.
Moving on up.
Me. Is this a weird angle to be standing?
Absolutely, but we're gonna do it anyways. So I'll just move over here.
I might only be able to stand for one song. I ran around a lot today.
Okay.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet.
Is that me?
Wanna go again?
Did it just hit it weird? I didn't even change my...
Okay. Ready?
Alright.
I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue, and I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regret, the winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I can make you happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love. Cool.
sh-naaa.
Warm up the voice.
How was that?
I don't know. Yeah, how
Did
did
you guys
that
see
sound?
up our nostrils? The voice of an angel. I can translate that for you.
It sounded good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much these are pretty much the settings that we've been using for when we were doing the raw cuts on the microphone. So I figured it wouldn't sound too horrible, especially since we're not trying to compete with any other audio.
Could you guys hear Andre? Because sometimes he's far away and
when
you can't hear him on the guitar.
When we were doing the rough cut, Lisa was kind of here and I was here and I was standing on my skateboard so that my guitar would be more in line, because the first two times we tried to record, we recorded them back to back, and then we went through and listened, and you could hear me in the beginning going like I was concentrating so hard on what I was playing. I was like, all right, we're doing the raw cut, I can't mess up at all, so I got to concentrate. I didn't even think about the fact that I'm a tremendous mouth breather, and it picked it up on the mic. So it doesn't have the the compression that it normally has when we're just talking, because it needs to pick up the instruments. But you played on your uke too, right?
That song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more by Jay Michaels, and we gotta.
Oh, dang.
Is this
Solo.
one this is the solo?
Yeah.
All right. Puf loves playing this solo. I think is this the song that I've interpretive danced behind you before?
Probably.
Well, I'll be down here.
Are you just gonna have your head right here?
Yep. Puf is front and center stage. Oh gosh. Hopefully I can keep control of this thing. All right.
Oh, I gotta block that out.
Yeah, my guitar will probably always seem a little bit softer, but that's okay. It's better than Pugh's voice being softer, I would say.
Seems a little quiet. Yeah. This sounds quiet.
I will be the judge of that. I don't think so.
Found you when your heart was broke. Filled your cup until it overflowed. Took it so far to keep you close. Was afraid to leave you on your own. I said I'd catch you if you fall. And if they laugh, then fuck 'em all. And then I got you off your knees, put you right back on your feet, just so you could take advantage of me. Tell me how's it feel, sitting up there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there, name in the sky. Does it ever get lonely, thinking you could live without me, live without me? Baby, I'm the one who put you up there, and I don't know why. Yeah. Yeah. Gave love about 100 tries, just running from the demons in my mind. Then I took yours and made them mine. Didn't notice 'cause my love was blind. I said I'd catch you if you fall. And if they laugh, then fuck 'em all. And then I got you off your knees, put you right back on your feet, just so you could take advantage of me. Tell me how's it feel, sitting up there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there, name in the sky. Does it ever get lonely, thinking you could live without me, live without me? Baby, I'm the one who put you up there, and I don't know why. Yeah, you don't have to say just what you did, I already know. I had to go and find out from them. So tell me how's it feel, tell me how's it feel, sitting up there, feeling so high, but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you up there, name in the sky. Does it ever get lonely, thinking you could live without me, live without me? Baby, I'm the one who put you up there, and I don't know why. Yeah. I feel like that was a little high for me right now, but
A little high?
a little high.
Well, I was gonna try and jump in there at the end, but I didn't want to intrude. Since it was so high, do you want to just play it again?
I'm like out of breath. If anybody couldn't tell. Might be low now. Gave love about 100 tries, just running from the demons in your mind. Do you want to start at the beginning?
Is that?
I started halfway through.
Oh yeah, let's start halfway through. Verse 2.
We don't have to.
Oh, were you just making fun of yourself because you accidentally started there?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Just started right there.
I'm glad we're making fun of her so we can ignore the fact that I'm struggling to try and just figure out what's happening here. But
Do you guys want to listen to us play this again? I feel like my voice kept cracking. Found you when your heart was broke. Filled your cup until it overflowed. Took it so far to keep you close. Was afraid to leave you on your own. I said I'd catch you if you fall. And if they laugh, then fuck 'em all. And then I got you off your knees, put you right back on your feet, just so you could take advantage of me. Tell me, how's it feel sitting up there, feeling so high but too far away to hold me? You know I'm the one who put you up there. Name in the sky, does it ever get lonely thinking you could live without me? Live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there, and I don't know why. Yeah. Gave love about 100 tries, just running from the demons in your mind. Then I took yours and made them mine. Didn't notice 'cause my love was blind. I said I'd catch you if you fall. And if they laugh, then fuck 'em all. Got you off your knees, put you right back on your feet, just so you could take advantage of me. Tell me, how's it feel sitting up there, feeling so high but too far away to hold me? You know I'm the one who put you up there. Name in the sky, does it ever get lonely thinking you could live without me?
I don't know where I'm at.
Where are you?
I don't know. I got it.
Without me, live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. I don't know why. Yeah. You don't have to say just what you did. I already know. I had to go and find out from them. So tell me, how's it feel? Tell me, how's it feel sitting up there, feeling so high but too far away to hold me? You know I'm the one who put you up there. Name in the sky, does it ever get lonely thinking you could live without me? Live without me. Baby, I'm the one who put you up there. Don't know why. Yeah. A little bit better. I'm still totally out of breath.
Yeah, we should have wimmed.
Wim Hof with me, everyone. Wim Hof.
Wim Hof with me. Should we go through a quick Wim Hof?
No, they don't want to listen to me inhale that deeply.
Why not? Could be like a little
Do we want to
group
lower?
activity.
Is there another song?
There are no more requests as of right now, so you are
Perfect.
safe. We can lower this down. Don't have to put Lisa in the spotlight anymore. Her favorite place. Okay. Okay. No, I know what you mean because, like, I have tried to sing songs like full bore to myself. So I've never tried what you're trying as far as like in front of other people, even you. But I've tried like to sing, like just really going for it, and I find that very quickly I run out of breath because when you're singing like whispering, you can just sing like that forever because it's just like you never you're expelling like so little breath for each sound, in comparison to when you're really trying to belt it.
As I grab my waist, I was about to say, you get very conscious of where you're like clenching during certain parts and exhaling and singing from your stomach versus singing from your head. Like I still don't know all this stuff. So I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
Because
I would imagine you could also probably get to a familiarity with it where there are certain positions that your body should be in or certain clenches that are happening when you're producing certain sounds versus others, to where you like, it's almost becomes a physical act too as you're singing, because you're like, oh, I can hit the higher notes if I kind of like pull back when I say it or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's like
I'll work on it.
Like
you'll come in one day and I'll just be like
wow, you've choreographed your music. No, I've just learned how to sing finally. This is my song. This is the way I sing my
move
song.
the microphone like this when I sing.
You know, I don't know how that could sound good, but if you can figure it out to where it can sound good.
Uh-oh. It won't let me request anymore.
Puce. What?
Dreamy said he can't.
I tried to try refreshing Dreamy.
Well, there is a third one.
I tried clearing it. We got one coming in from Anonymous. Do we want to look at this, or since we moved all the camera and everything down, do you want to talk for a little bit?
We could talk for a little bit.
Okay. Well, we could start by talking about. I mean, we could do we could even do the TV giveaway right now if you want.
Let's do the TV giveaway.
All right, let's do the TV giveaway.
We just need to get this over with.
In our past television giveaways, we've waited until the very end, but this time we're going to make it.
We don't even
know if we're going to pick a winner. So
yeah, we could come back next week.
This is in memoriam to Mike.
So Mike, we just never heard from again.
We never heard from you.
Chatty informed us he lives in Australia.
Chatty.
And he was very kind about having to decline his winnings.
He said, unless you want to strap the TV to your back and swim across shark-infested waters to get it to me, I'll be happy with just knowing that you guys are doing what you're doing.
Chatty, if we're ever in Australia,
we're hitting you up.
We're going to come see you.
You're literally, other than one of Lisa's friends' dads, you're the only people I know that are Australian. So I'll be hitting you up for sure.
Me too.
All right. Well, we won't have a TV with us, but who is going to get the TV today? We have all of our patrons from over on patreon.com/looking from the month of May. -2, minus Chatty and Mike. Sorry, we didn't re-enter you into the drawing. And are you done dancing? Or are we going to draw a dang name already? It's like dang bingo night. I'll draw it. Oh, it feels so weird. It's almost like you're picking Hunger Games opponents, but the opposite. You're like, all of these people have lost. The winner is Betsy. The winner lives about 10 minutes away from us, actually. That's kind of hilarious.
That is kind of hilarious.
Well,
this time we know it's done.
That's true, because they're in Colorado.
And I've known that person my entire life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a little context as to who Betsy is?
Sure. Betsy's one of our patrons. She's also the house where Andre started streaming again.
That's true. It's the house that might have lost the Laser Star chart, you guys.
We were watching her house.
So we'll go get it for the TV.
She also happens to be my oldest sibling, Sarah, who lives here. Her best friend since they were 5. And they both live in the same town.
Well, they both grew up in Ohio and yet are now growing up together here in Colorado with their kids. Their kids are growing up together in Colorado. So that is very cool. And she became a patron, and she became like the $100 patron or something.
More than that.
And
mainly because they just were trying to pay us and we're like, don't give us money.
Yeah, and they were like, well, we'll just do this. And then I was like, Lisa, you need to tell them that this is a monthly thing because I do not think they're wanting to pledge this month per month, but this much per month. But then she completely went off and she was like, oh, I didn't realize. And then at one point I was talking to her husband, I think, and I was talking to him about like the idea that like just having that support monthly makes it less intimidating for people to look at it and be like, oh, these people are just like weird little people on Patreon that are like scamming you in some way. It's like just pledging $1 a month and showing that you support what we're doing helps that tipping point for other people so that we can get like the support that we're trying to get. And so after I said something like that, I noticed that they just became our patron.
Yes. Well, Betsy also said, she's like, how do I listen to your podcast? And I was like, well, when you're our patron.
Ah.
And I was like, I feel like you should be a patron for life since you like subscribed for
seriously, the amount of money that they gave us over Patreon is like, yeah, you should be an all-time subscriber at that point. Unfortunately, we can't really work out the details. Brody is very excited by this story. I think he's just excited that we get to go give Betsy this humongous TV. But just so you know, it's not just Betsy that will be getting this TV. It is her husband and also little daughter and son, Charlotte and Isaac, who are just some of the most adorable little kids that I've ever seen. So I'm actually hoping that this doesn't go in their room, but I'm hoping that it can find some sort of a use for the whole family in some way. It's weird looking at that box for as long as I have. I thought we were going to go on this grand adventure with it, and it was going to be like that pain in the ass box where you're just like, this freaking box, like we have to sleep with it every night as we're in the van because we just have so little room. We actually would have to like put it on the bed or in the kitchen. Something. That thing is actually huge. We only have a bed in the kitchen. Now that I'm thinking about it specifically, but there you go. Third time's the charm. Normally I can't say that. Now we can play a song. Now we can play a song. Should we play Blue Dreams? We'll play a song that we wrote at their house. But it is a song that we came up with at their house while I was playing Betsy's husband's guitar, one of his guitars that he had just laying out. I was kind of working on just trying to do like different finger picking things because at that point my only strumming pattern was this, just all the way across, and so I was working on like using my fingers and trying to come up with beats, and we were there watching that house and watching their awesome dog. We had just got to Colorado. We had just gotten to Colorado this most recent time, so the time that we were staying here, and it just was all kind of sinking in, after all the traveling that we had done and everything, and it's like, man, this is nice to just sort of sit here and take in that Colorado scene. It doesn't have a lot of lyrics. And it might not... Oh, we can sit if you want. I'm going to stand like this so my guitar goes in to the microphone. Is that weird? Yeah. Well, if I sit, it's going to, like, the microphone... No, you can stand. You can stand. Okay. I'll just... Just pretend that Okay, well, that's the opposite of what we're trying to do. You want me to pull it up? Blue dreams, we're just sipping on blue dreams, taking in that Colorado scene, sipping on blue dreams. Blue dreams, we're just sipping on blue dreams, taking in that Colorado scene, sipping on blue dreams. Blue dreams, we're just sipping on blue dreams, taking in that Colorado scene, sipping on blue dreams. Blue dreams, we're just sipping on blue dreams, taking in that Colorado scene, sipping on blue dreams. Blue dreams, we're just sipping on blue dreams, taking in that Colorado scene, sipping on blue dreams.
taking in that Colorado sea, sipping on blue dreams. Blue dreams, we're just sipping on blue dreams, taking in that Colorado sea, sipping on blue dreams. Yeah, something like that.
Took me a second to figure out how it went, because we've been coming up with some new songs recently, and I've been trying some other different patterns. And you think when you're playing it a lot and you're learning it that you're like figuring out what your fingers need to do at that exact moment, when really you're just developing a muscle memory.
Yeah.
And so I was like trying to get back into that old muscle memory. So what Brody has been doing this entire time is trying to get this ball that Poof has put behind the chair. I'm going to move it because he's going to end up knocking over the skateboards and everything. And he's just a rabble-rouser.
He had it in his mouth and he was like...
He can't hold something in his mouth while not whining, so we had to take it away from him.
Bro.
Just ignore him.
We're done here.
You can't placate to his insecurities. You do this as a mother, and he just gets worse.
Okay.
I have to fight an uphill battle.
And then I can see his tail.
Yeah, well, that's okay. There we go. We got a request coming in from Anonymous. One of the first songs that
like cover that we kind of
one of the first covers.
On.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the first covers that we messed around with. Elvis Presley's "I Can't Help Falling in Love with You."
I don't know if we have it in here, but I can probably play it off the top of my head. What about you?
No. Why would you dare put me into that position? Oh, I know it. You know it? You good? No, that's why we wanted to do this and
we tried and it didn't work that day, so here we are.
Didn't work that day, so I guess it's just...
Here we are on our bronze.
I guess we're just screwed. Let me see.
If I'm being honest, I don't think we...
Here it is, it's right here. Oh,
I know.
What happened there? What happened there? Weird how it just showed up when we looked for it just a little bit harder. I feel like I should be singing this song to you, Poof.
You want to sing it to me?
Sure. Wise men say only fools rush in.
I can't believe this is happening for the first time on camera.
But I can't help falling in love with you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Now you take it away.
All right. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? For I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my
Called it.
hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. Thank you so much for singing.
Yeah, I figured screw it, why not? Life's too short.
Pizza! Thanks, Dreamy!
Thanks for the $5 worth of pizza, Dreamy. We'll put it to good use. I actually think it'll turn into $5 worth of burritos at this point. Also, Brody, have you settled down?
Oh my gosh, he came over and knocked my water bottle over.
What a rabble-rouser. He came over here and had his head like... Oh, you could probably see it because it's right here. So you saw the shenanigans he was up to. I was like, every time we start to play a song, he's like, check. Distracted? Check. I can manipulate them and do what I want? Check.
They can't yell at me?
I think I even before we played the song, I could tell that I was starting to get emotional about it and like heated about it. And I should have said something to him before we started playing the song. So ultimately the fault lies with me. But it was like just drilling it in like you were too agreeable about this and you didn't make him lay down, and so now you have to deal with this. And I was getting hot. This fleece was making me hot. I was like, gah!
Take a breath.
Take a deep breath.
Take 3.
Take 3. Brody, I love you. I know you have a lot of energy. I have to be better about vocalizing my worries when they arise.
Man, you just like did future self journaling.
See, it's a prayer, it's a meditation, it's the same thing. All right, we do have. Was that it? That was it? Right. For some reason, I thought we decided to play that song, but that was our request.
That was our request.
That was our request. Are you vegan, my nugget? I am not, Jim Jam. I'm actually quite the opposite of a vegan.
Yeah.
I have. We're trying to transition to keto a little bit, which requires. For a while, we were eating bacon and eggs pretty much religiously every day. So if that answers your question.
We need more veggies.
Yeah, I understand the obvious horrific downsides of factory farming, and I don't obviously approve of that, but I also don't approve of devoiding myself from nutrients, because I'm not conscientious enough to where I will go out and get all the supplemental vitamins and minerals and nutrients that I need.
I think it's just a long like work in progress, because obviously we've had conversations where that's not where we want our meat to be sourced from.
For sure. So like, yeah, we're not actively trying to get factory farmed meat, and we do shop at a store that sells a little bit more of a. How's it going, Jack? What's up, Jack? No worries, man. We know life is crazy. We're having a bit of a crazy life ourselves. But thank you for subscribing, and thanks for joining in on the party tonight. Joining us up in the treetops. But we don't go to Walmart anymore, which is weird, because when we were in the van, a lot of times when we couldn't find a place to park, Walmart would let you park there. Mm-hmm. So we would be in Walmart. And then even before that, when I lived at my apartment, I would go to Walmart in Myers, which is a local grocery store over like on the East Coast or wherever they're all located. And which was like a Walmart, basically. And I would just go and get my everything for the cheapest possible price. Not because I was intentionally trying to like help fund factory farming or anything like that, but well, I was young and broke, like, but even to a certain degree, I feel like we still maintain that level of like brokenness where it's like you're trying to do something, so you're like
food is definitely one of our like main expenses. We don't drink and we don't go out and eat at a lot of places and stuff, so when we cook at home, that's like where the chunk of our change is going after now rent. And
I think that it being a main expense, it's easy to try and go towards places like Walmart, because it's like, well, it's one of our biggest expenses, and we can cut it by about 30% if we go to Walmart. But it's like, yes, but not only do you get healthier food that makes you feel better at a slightly larger price, but you're also contributing to a better future for the world if you just help spend a little extra, and not only a better future for the world, but like seriously, it feels like you can tell that what you're eating is
the quality
real. I feel like we have to say that nowadays, but like I could tell that what I'm eating is real. And so
I saw this Instagram post the other day, and it was a compilation video that somebody had made of basically not all the foods, but a lot of foods that we eat and you buy from the store, and all the different ways there's like fake stuff in it. So like rice, there were just like little tiny chips of plastic that when you cooked it, you couldn't even tell there was like little pieces of plastic in it. And then
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, if you saw that, and I'm not saying this is for every single brand, like they didn't specify brands because they probably would have got.
Like, I love rice.
Yeah, that was just one, but it was like
Wouldn't you smell it when you're cooking it? Like the
here
smell
are
of burnt
ways
plastic?
That companies kind of like
shortcut.
Yeah.
Here's
another one was
here's
just
where they
like
put flour in their
glue
cocaine.
in meat.
Glue?
Yes.
Oh, why is everybody getting cancer?
There were
I don't
so
know.
many things, and
should we
those
stop
were
putting glue
two
and plastic
that just
in our
kind
food?
of stood out to me.
We should keep doing that.
Yeah. So maybe I'll find that post one day, and maybe it's like, and I'm not saying that's true for every single product of that category. It was just
if
like,
it's true for any single product in that category, it's a failure on our part as humanity to realize what we're doing, because like trying to feed people glue just because they don't notice it and it burns off when they cook it. It's like, really? So what? You can make a couple extra pennies by selling it for a little extra than what it really is because you're supplementing fake stuff in there? It's like, and we got this, my dad got this chip dip for when we went on their weekend trip last weekend up to the Rocky Mountains. And I was sitting there eating it like, oh, this is so good, French onion dip. I remember when you used to bring this home all the time. And I was turning around to the ingredients list, and I was trying to look for the ingredients list, and I could not find an ingredients list. Not at all. And even in water, it says ingredients, water. That's it. But it still has an ingredients list. This did not have any ingredients.
I'm still not sure how they got around that, because that's like...
Here's how they got around it. They made a factory that they could put a little bucket under, and they could press a button and it goes and then they close it and they send it off and they don't worry about it. And that's it. And it's like, but it tastes so good. You've put it in your dishes.
So good. I added it to those mashed potatoes yesterday.
Yeah, you did. And it was delicious.
So good.
There's something to be said about experimenting with it, but we also have to be real when we say, let's not put plastic in rice, let's not put glue in meat. But if there's a way that we can feed this ever-growing population that we have with something that doesn't require the suffering of life, then if that's possible, and it doesn't have like a devaluing nature at all to what would normally be provided by like a healthy meal, I need that, but I'm not convinced of it. And I'm also not going to be convinced of the preliminary research that comes out around it. Like, oh yeah, it's perfectly fine. These guys ate this French onion dip. They totally didn't grow a third arm after 3 weeks or something like that. I'm not saying it's going to be that extreme, but I'm saying even if it lets me have half of the energy that I normally would, or 70, 80% of the energy that I normally would from a normal diet, I would still feel better like going after that normal diet, because I need more energy than I have already, so I'm not trying to lose it.
Skimp out.
And I think that's what we're getting back to, is like we're looking at food as medicine, like it should be looked at, because it's something you put in your body and it changes your body and it changes how you react and it changes the effects that you experience emotionally and physically and psychologically. So it's like, it's medicine, and it's the most used medicine of the world. And there's so much bad plasticky medicine. Sugar is basically putting plastic in your food too. I'll say that.
It's weird because in this food category, we have all these medicines and then we have all these toxins.
Yeah.
And they're all considered food.
Yeah, that's true. It's not, some of them aren't medicines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Although it's weird too, because you got to think, what's up, Juicy J? I see you, buddy. It's weird to think that like of some of them as explicitly toxins, because if you think of things like sugar and and caffeine, it's like there are certain instances within moderation, right? It's within moderation. Everything you can do everything in moderation, and it's like I think the moderation for sugar is about this, and I think we think it's about this. So we're
well,
like,
even if it's this, and we think it's this, it's still in this. Like sugar is in so much food that a lot of people don't even realize. I'm not saying we like know, and not that many people do, but I think there are still a lot of people that are eating things that don't even realize they have sugar in. So it's even more than.
I tried to cut it out and I was surprised. I was like, wait, what? Bread? Peanut butter? Jelly?
I was just gonna say, even
I was eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, being like, I'm gonna stay away from sugar. I'm not gonna have dessert for at night. If I get hungry, I'm just gonna make a peanut butter and jelly. Little did I know, obviously the jelly. That was the first thing I learned. I was like, okay, jelly's pretty much just sugar. It's kind of like a sweetener. But then I just started eating toasted peanut butter sandwiches because I was like, if I toast them, I don't really need the jelly because it gives it a little bit of like crunch and a little bit of satisfaction as it's going down. Brody, the ball is right here and you're not getting it back until after the show. Please go lay down.
You guys get to listen to our... Hey.
Go, lay down. You little dictator.
Dictator. That's been coming out a lot. Brody?
He just got up as soon as he laid down. He's like, oh yeah, they're talking again into that weird alien device. I could just go do whatever I want. It's kind of like when we would be at my apartment and we would be getting really relaxed before van life, before any of it, and we would just both kind of be like melting into the bed, and you could see Brody. He would just kind of get up and look at us. That's when it
turned on for him, and he would start prowling.
Yeah,
like a shark.
He started experimenting slowly at first, and then he was like, "Oh, as soon as they're there, I can do whatever I want." And then it took us a while to realize that was happening.
He was taking advantage of us.
And now we're slowly working our way back down.
We'd be watching like a movie or something, so the lights would be off, and he's black, so you wouldn't even see him. And that's why you got the nickname Shadow Creature, because he'd just be lurking in the shadows, sniffing out our food.
And Beetle Shark, because he he had the eyes, the shiny eyes of a little beetle, but he was a shark. Anything that... It's like he would be nowhere to be seen, and then we would drop a little bit of pizza, and all of a sudden there he was.
His face would come out.
It was kind of terrifying.
It was.
But we did that on purpose because we wanted like a theater setup. Like we had the bed and then probably something close to the 60-inch. I think my TV was a 50-inch, but something like that, where it's just like, I want as small a room as possible with as big of a screen as possible, and for it to be able to get as dark as possible. And that's what we did.
Checked all the boxes.
Yep. The only thing that I wanted to do that I didn't was it was sitting on top of this huge Marantz speaker system that my grandma gave me when I was way too young to appreciate it. I was using the turntable for my tech decks, just turning it on and just like letting it spin around and around, just like, oh, this is cool. But I wanted to be able to hook up the television to those big speakers on the side.
Why couldn't you? Did they not work anymore?
I started, and then kind of like a couple obstacles came up, and I ended up just turning around and going home because I was like, if I figure this out, it's going to be bad because I live in an apartment building, and if I crank this at all, everyone's going to hear the bass, and it's just going to echo throughout the whole thing. So I'm like, I'll just save this project for some other time. So I never really like fully pursued it, because then once we left there, I ended up giving my TV away to my aunt. So it's funny because we're almost kind of giving our other TV away to your aunt in a way. And like, you know, she's kind of like your aunt in a way.
Yeah, my sister and her raised me. They had a song for me when I was little.
They had a song for you?
Little. Lisa Marie, don't you cry for me, little Lisa Marie. And they would sing that to me because I was like a whiny little toddler.
That was their... Oh, I did it too. Sorry, guys. The audio is just... It's broken. We got to burn it all. Show the TV. Yeah, here it is. That is the TV that has been won. It has been won. It has been won by us, and now we get to give it to somebody else finally.
Should I text her and tell her?
Yeah, you should text her and tell her.
Find out what her response is.
Yeah, we can hear it live on television. Rice and beans are cheapest way of living. Yeah, no, for sure. But at the same time, it's like it gets back to that medicine thing where it's like it might be the cheapest way of living, but is it the cheapest way of living fully? Like that's what you have to sort of contend with, because it's like, yeah, you might be able to live off rice and beans, but are you going to get as much nutrients, and is your brain going to be working as good as it could be if you were to have a different diet? And I think that we, like Lisa said, we've definitely done our fair share of rice and beans. Like Mexican night is, we even did one on the stream. We did a impromptu cooking stream that you can find in the VODs not too far back. But at the same time, I think it's different for everybody, maybe in little pieces for some, but I think it's just different for everybody. So I think the best thing to try and do is to cut away everything that you don't think you need, and then keep cutting things away until you get, hopefully you can get down to like some staples. And then once you have those staples, build back out off of that. So we're kind of in the process of trying to reduct all of our dietary supplements, and then we're eventually going to start adding them back in as we go. But like, I want to at least get down to where I'm like, okay, I can at least eat this, because I don't think it needs to be a varied diet. I just think it needs to be a substantial diet. So I can eat this and feel good. And then from there you can experiment. But I haven't necessarily found exactly that. But I do think after reading the science of having your brain feed off ketones versus having it feed off of glucose, which is sugar, which is everywhere, which is what everybody's brain is probably feeding off of that is listening to this, including us that are talking about it. If you can transition that back away from sugars into a more natural state of ketones where you're eating proteins and your brain is being fueled by proteins instead of by sugar, then I think that makes you able to tackle the world better. And like, don't we all need that?
You don't have the dips like as often. At least that's what I've noticed, like as we've been doing this more.
Yeah.
When I'm not, the days I'm not putting any sugar in, I don't have the dips as often.
Like throughout the day, like the dips of energy.
And also I feel very, like when I do eat and stuff, I feel very alert. Yeah. But not in a like a caffeinated way, which I can compare sugar to. Like an energized the drops way. I have in caffeine, which is why I don't like ever have it, is how I feel after sugar.
Well, you know, caffeine is the same as sugar, where it's like, it's pseudo energy. It's empty energy, because it'll give you that initial burst, but there's nothing there in the afterburn. It's like trying to go and cook by just squirting lighter fluid into the fire over and over again. It's like, you need coals there. You need something of substance. And
it was more physical energy rather than mental. Whereas when I have been, you know, doing more protein and veggie, I just feel very alert and focused, and I've had very positive benefits from it, even though I still sometimes crave and eat sugar.
Like I said, I don't think that there's a one shoe fits all for everybody, but I think there is some benefit into sort of reducting your diet a bit and then building it back up slowly, and sort of like be willing to take things away as you build it back up, trying to figure out how your body works, because our bodies are ridiculously different and also sensitive in weird ways. Like, I know my mom experiences a lot of stomach issues, and it was funny because growing up in middle school and high school, I started getting stomach issues, and I was like, oh no, I have my mom's thing. And I still do think I have more of my mom's stomach than my dad's. Yeah. Although as a kid, it's just different, you know. But I remember, shoot, I completely lost my train of thought. I was talking about my mom. I had these stomach aches, and I was like, dang. After I got out of high school, I like stopped having as many stomach aches, and I was like, why was that? And then I started looking back, and I was like, oh right, in middle school and high school, I never farted in school ever, and so I was just holding the farts all day. And I remember as soon as I stepped off the bus, it was like,
oh my god,
just. Oh, the whole way down the driveway.
How did you just like never? I'm not gonna say I never peed.
I never pooped. I never did anything.
What about games?
Game days was different because you were there longer, and you could build camaraderie around going to the bathroom as a team. We would always go to the girls' locker or the girls' bathroom.
Andre and I went to the same high school, in case you didn't know, and we both played basketball on the basketball teams. And before game nights, we would like go, there was like a women's restroom and a men's restroom that were never used in our high school. And I think it's because they were locked during the day. They only unlocked them in the evening.
Yeah. Sometimes they would even be locked during practice. It's like, hey, is the auxiliary bathrooms open or not? Yeah. That would be the question that you'd always ask.
So since we were there late for games, they would be open. And I remember one time, I'll never forget, like, we as a team would do it too. We'd be like, hey, we got to go to the bathroom, because you had to walk down this long hallway. So we're poops. All walking there, and at that time, like, the whole men's basketball team walks out, and we're just like, the men's bathroom is right there. Like, why did you all come in the women's?
So many reasons. Don't ask questions.
No, I know. They're like, you have so many stalls. We only have 2. Like, you guys have like 15
and your stalls have doors. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
It made sense. But It was kind of like, and then we went in there and it smelled horrible, and we all were like needing to go to the bathroom, and you could tell you all were just like,
hilarious.
Let's get out of here before the girls go.
I have some of the best bonding. I've had some of the best bonding experiences with my teammates on the toilets as we were just talking from stall to stall. Like, one of the most instrumental discussions that I've had in my poop life has been having a discussion with two of my teammates, one on each side of me, being like, hey, this might be kind of a weird... I didn't bring it up. One of my teammates did. And he's like, this might be kind of a weird question, but do you guys, like... What do you guys do with your toilet paper? Like, you got it. You have it probably right now. Like, are you more of a crumpler or a folder? And I was like... At the time, I was very much a crumpler. And I didn't know that there could be... Like, I didn't fold my clothes. So I was like, you're going to fold your toilet paper before you use it? And then I started thinking about... Because the other guy's like... You know, I'm more of a crumpler. Well, I'm more of a folder, and I feel like you can kind of like fold it and shift it, and you can get more uses out of it. And I was like, you know, you might be onto something. And that was the first day I folded my toilet paper.
Do you now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who knows?
I
if
do
I would have
both.
been doing
Like,
it.
I don't even remember.
I am very, and I have it. I fold it in half once because you do not ever go down there with a single layer because you will pierce through the veil in a very disgustingly brown way. And so I at least fold it once. And then I'll usually like go in, and then it's kind of like a hand thickness, and so I can fold it to half hand thickness, and then kind of go back in, and then I can, if it's long, I can fold it this way, so then I have like a little square that I can get back down in there. Whereas if I would have crumpled it, I probably would have looked at it, been disgusted, and tossed it in there, and then grabbed another piece. So I can say that it helps me use less toilet paper, which is something my dad, ever since he gave me that turd whacker, always said, be wary. You're using too much toilet paper. I'm like, Dad, that one I didn't use any toilet paper. I actually flushed just before so I could prove it to you.
How do we always end up talking so much about
poop?
Going
it's
to
great.
The bathroom?
It's great. People want to hear this.
2 days in a row?
Yeah, of course. Every
Andre
day.
had an in-depth conversation yesterday.
Very eco-friendly. Exactly. You got it. You got it.
If we want to get eco-friendly, we could get a composting toilet. Just put it next to our one that's currently in there installed. We'll just use that instead. Composting
toilet would be interesting. People say it gives such good reviews on it, but I don't know.
I've used one once. My cousin's. It works.
It works.
It worked, like, honestly.
It's one of those things like fake food where you're like, if it works, I'll do it.
No, it works 100% because I was, like, very nervous. I was like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll just go back to my place. She's like, no, you can use my bathroom. I was like, no, I gotta go. She's like, yeah, you can use my bathroom. I was like, okay. So I went in there and it was, like, very straightforward. No issues.
Yeah, well, we had considered buying one for the van, so it's not like we were completely against it, but it's just one of those things where it's like a new technology.
It's a hefty investment if you're not sure about it.
Yes.
They're like $900.
Early adopters' fees tend to be pretty steep in comparison to people who kind of catch the market at a later stage. And we were looking to be early adopters because it would have helped us with our traveling. And I mean, you don't realize how much you need to poop when you wake up in the morning until you have a van and you just have no pooper there.
When I'm in the van, I am the most regular, and it is the moment I wake up.
She talks about poop too. It's not just me. If someone's bringing up the topics here, I think it's both of us.
You just talked about it, though.
Yeah, but your eyes lit up when I said that.
Just because
I was
it's
talking
a
about
rush.
poo, and your eyes went.
You said in the morning.
It's the widest I've ever seen them.
In the morning in the van.
Yeah, in the morning in general, you don't realize until you're in the van.
It's not a thing unless you don't have. Yeah.
Should we play the poop song to close it out?
We have a poop song?
No.
Do you want to see if there's another one?
Yes, I can check to see if there's another.
If not, then we can play any song. Oh, that just...
What?
I thought it was like messing up the screen.
Oh no, it's okay. We do not have any requests coming in.
Cool.
Front to back or back to front? I think...
if you're a female, you need to go front to back.
Yeah, I think it's front to back. Even if you're a male, you need to go front to back.
I don't think about...
I mean, you have a lot more extremities hanging out as a male, so... And it's in the same area as you refuse to wipe into as a female, so I feel like it would be the same thing. No one wants smelly balls. Let's say that. Dang, this podcast rated X. Are we going to play a song to close it out?
We can.
We're so great at picking songs by ourselves. We can play... Oh, you know what we could try doing is playing a little bit of this. Lisa, stop getting lost in the chat. We're having a conversation. We can try playing this new song that we were coming up with.
It has it has a verse, a chorus.
That's true. Yeah. It doesn't have a verse. It's kind of like Blue Dream, though. Just play a little bit of it. No. It's too young. Lisa doesn't want to let it out of the castle yet.
I was actually messing around with it today on the way home, and it's too young.
It's too young. You're not over it, as in like you're abandoning it.
We don't want to.
We're not aborting this fetus.
Put it out there.
We're going to nurture it into something great.
Too early. We don't want to scare it. Speaking of, can I add a quick comment?
Yeah.
Getting scared. The boys that I babysit, the oldest one had his birthday party this past weekend, and he got lots of balloons. So today they were playing with them, but I was warned by their parents that while the 3-year-old loves the balloons, the 1.5-year-old is deathly afraid. And there's like 7 balloons just bouncing around in his house. So it would start bouncing toward him and be like, ah! He would start screaming and run the opposite direction. So
that's funny. He got scared of an ant the other day, though, so it doesn't take much to scare a little
startled. But it was just like floating in slow motion in the air. You could just see his eyes like, oh no, it's coming.
That sounds pretty comical.
Yeah, that was fun.
He's a funny little kid, and you gotta wonder if his brother has something to do with that. If it's like, yeah, I love these things, so I'm gonna torment you with them.
He was tormenting him.
Yeah.
He would come rubbing it on his face, like getting near him, and his brother would just freak out because you could tell he thought he was gonna touch him in the face.
Well, it doesn't feel that great to get a balloon rubbed on your face. Mm-mm. You rub it on your head because you want to make it stick to your head, not because it's a massage. You know, it's like...
Here, put this like latex suffocating material by you.
So I can see why little Coop's maybe a little traumatized.
What are you?
Oh God, I'm not even gonna entertain your thought right now.
Why?
Because if we can't pick a song, we're not gonna play a dang song.
Okay. Both
my sisters wipe back to front, and when they told me that was my exact reaction. Yeah. I mean, okay, here's one argument. Here's another dip into the poo conversation for today. One argument for women is that they probably have way less hair going on down there than men do, by and large, especially this man. And that's one of the biggest reasons, because I'm like, it's not just a simple factor of going in, quick cleanup, and we're out. It's like, oh shoot, you know when your dog poops and you go to pick it up and it's in the grass, and you just kind of like get it on the grass as you're picking it up, and you're just like, well, it's good enough because it's just the grass. Well, when it's your ass, it's a little different, because you're just like, I actually can't leave any of this, and I also can't see any of it, so I have to, like, you know, use your secondary eyes. The toilet paper. The toilet paper.
What if toilet paper was like black colored?
That would be horrible. It'd be unusable. Maybe you could see a little brown on the black, but it would definitely be. Sometimes you'd be like, I'm gonna give this a couple extra wipes just because I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of your mom's house. They talked about, if you're blind, how do you know if you're done wiping?
Smell.
You smell it after?
Yeah, you just take a little bit and you're like, because I know that I'm about done wiping without having to even look. Because most of the time I'm just down in there and I'm just like, okay, that one's definitely not clean. I'm not even going to bring it out of the toilet. I'm just going to drop it, and then it just drops, and then I'll grab another one. And then I start to get to a point where I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm curious now. Let me see. And I'll pull it out.
Are we almost done?
But if I were to pull it out and just go, I would know if there was freaking poop on there or not. Unless you don't fold it, then a little finger slips through, pierces the veil, and then you don't know. Because you're like, well, it could just be my stanky finger. It would be way worse for people in India, I think, who wipe with their hands. And they're just like, because it's like, how do you know then?
Do they wipe only with their hands?
They have like a little bucket of water that they can rinse it off in. It's not as great as you'd think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for as spicy of a food as they have. You'd think they'd have the process figured out a bit more, but there's a lot of people in India, so I'm thankful I don't have an Indian toilet setup, that's for sure. None of this is cleverly leading us into any song. So I think are we gonna have a silent outro for tonight?
Sure.
Okay. Well, that was TreeTop Radio, episode 20.
Episode 20.
Wow, we're in our 20s now.
How's it feel?
I feel like we're growing up too fast.
I know. What are we gonna
People
do?
are going to expect more of us out of this show now that it's number 20 plus. Yeah, don't come to 21 expecting anything more than what you saw today. But maybe
you're legal to drink. Now you should have your shiz together.
Don't tell them they're legal to drink. There could be kids watching this.
I'm saying, like, the podcast, it's legal to drink.
In some countries. Not in America.
Or it's
where
already
we live.
21?
20. Oh, now we're just getting into semantics. This is the worst exiting of a podcast ever.
All right, guys.
Goodbye, farewell, adios, and adieu.
Don't know the words.
To you and you and you. Goodbye.